welcome to Long Shots TV. We've got a very special show tonight. It's all about the Kentucky Derby, which starts tomorrow, the 143rd running of the Kentucky Derby, which is most exciting 2 minutes in sports. And you're going to want to listen to some of the things that I have to tell you if you're betting on the ponies today. Just to run down a couple of the odds, these are the latest. Always Dreaming, Classic Empire, and McCracken are all at 5-1. Gunnevera is 6-1. Irish War Cry is 7-1. And then we jump to 15-1 and better with Gervin Hence and Gromley. Looking at Lee, 20-1. Thunder Snow, 21. IRAP is 20-1. A lot of discussion about this race and the weather that's going to be happening tomorrow. They're calling for rain, so the track's going to be a little sloppy. So there's going to be a little mix-up in what we're going to see. And this is how we think it's going to play out. There's roughly 7 horses in the pack that could easily take this race. So it's going to make your betting decisions just a little bit tougher. Trainer Doug O'Neill won the Derby with I'll Have Another in 2012, and Nyquist last year said it looks like a lot of horses have a similar attack, and he's spot on. At least 10 of the 20 entries are expected to be either on the lead or near the lead in a stalker position when the gate opens for the 1.25 mile test at Churchill Downs. With that many up front, the pace is likely to be fairly quick. Always Dreaming, Gromley, Irish War Cry, Fast and Accurate, and Battle of the Midway have won races going wire to wire, but have shown the ability to rate just off the lead and looked even stronger in doing that in races. Favorite Classic Empire, ARAP, Thunder Snow, and State of Honor all have shown tendencies to race near the lead, while Gervin and Patch won't be too far behind. Okay, that leaves Deep Closer, Gunnevera, Practice Joke, J-Boys Echo, Taprit, Hence, McCracken, Untrapped, Looking at Lee, and Sonneteer near the back of the pack early on in the race. But it appears that unless a horse just goes out and sets a blistering pace, which is not expected, that the winner will come from the group that's close to the lead. Here's my expectations, okay? Always Dreaming, who has been training a bit aggressively this week at the Downs, will go to the lead. Jockey John Velasquez, sorry about that, will try to steal the race on the front end. So it's going to be a very interesting race, and there's going to be a lot of fun in that last 2 minutes. But let's talk about ways to bet the superfecta. Okay, oftentimes horse players are looking for a big payday with multi-race bets like the pick 3 and pick 4, but with the Derby, the best way to make money recently has been the superfecta, picking the first 4 horses of the race. Sure, it's not easy, but it's worth a chance. Churchill started offering the superfecta in 1996, even though with big favorites, Big Brown and Orb, Street Sense, and Smarty Jones winning, the payout was more than $10,000. With 8-1 Super Saver winning in 2010, the payout was more than $100,000. So yes, it can be a big score. The minimum bet for the superfecta on Derby Day is $1, and it's not 10 cents like normal at the Downs. Therefore, a super bet can get expensive in a hurry. But here's a couple of options on how to hit that superfecta. First, the old version of a superfecta box. In most races, the super box isn't a great play, but because of the cost. But with the Derby, it's not a bad play at all. In fact, Hall of Fame trainer Dwayne Lucas has won the Derby 4 times and told me this week that he was betting a 7-horse super box. A 4-horse $1 box would cost $24 and would mean that you pick 4 horses and they can finish in any order, 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you win. The 5-horse box will cost $120, 6 would be $360, and 7 would be $840. So now if your budget is a little smaller, then here's an option. If you have 2 or 3 horses you really like, there are a lot of ways you can play it, but one good way is 2, 4, 6, 7, which costs $96, or 3, 4, 5, 6 for $81. Okay, those are 2 ways to cash. As far as the picks, I'd suggest 5-horse Superfecta box of Always Dreaming, Irish Warcry, McCracken, Hence, and IRAP. For a bit of a price horse, the ticket would be $120. So solid picks there. If you're listening, write those down, because that's a solid wager in my book. After talking to these guys, boy, they kind of opened my eyes. Or if you're like me, you love 2 horses on a ticket, Always Dreaming and Irish Warcry, with Always Dreaming, Irish Warcry, McCracken, Hence, Classic Empire, IRAP, Thunder Snow, and Gunnevera, with Classic Empire, IRAP, Thunder Snow, Gunnevera, Gormley, J-Boys Echo, and State of Honor. Okay, so there's some good combinations in there. So, but if you take that, enjoy it, and good luck. So, all right, let's talk about the best long shot to win. Okay, for lovers of long shots, which we do here at LongShotsTV, that's why we're called Long Shots, love long shots, and this race actually represents the perfect time for us to take that long shot and hope to cash big. Okay, so America's top horse race frequently produces winners that handsomely reward their backers. From 1990 to 2005, 9 champions entered the starting gate with double-digit odds, and 2 others were close. The pattern now is flipped. In the past, 3 winners were favored. For Saturday's 143rd running, there's no apparent super horse. So, it's a shopper's paradise for those attracted to the long shots. What we can tell you is, going off at 20 to 1, write this down, folks. Here it is. Practical Joke. If you want a long shot, that's the horse to take. At 20 to 1, that'll pay off really well. Okay, start with breeding. Only 4 entrants carry the credentials of dual qualifier. The tag is given to contestants whose pedigree suggests that they handle the 1.25 mile distance, which is the biggest unknown for 3-year-olds who haven't yet traveled that distance. The dual qualifier is based on 2 formulas, too complicated to detail. Rest assured that the eventual winner often can be found in this group. Okay, now let's look at the running style. Usually a supersized field is packed with speed horses who would rather run on near the end. A common scenario is they burn each other out, allowing for 1 or more positions back in the pack to pass them in the stretch. At the same time, closers who are conditioned to race toward the rear can run into traffic as they attempt to chase down the tiring foes. Closers have an easier path to the front when entered in customary fields of 12 or fewer. Derby hopefuls who run in the middle of the pack wield an advantage, especially with top-notch jockey Joel Rosario knows his way to the Derby's winner's circle, having piloted Orb in 2013. In his 6 races, Practical Joke tends to run between 4th and 7th in the early going, then display a late kick. He fits our preferred running style. The doubters will point to trainer Chad Brown, who has yet to saddle a Derby champion. Brown is widely regarded as a turf specialist, meaning his horses are best suited to run on grass courses. But becoming the premier trainer for earnings in a year, as Brown did in 2016, requires one to succeed on all surfaces. Brown's horses brought more than $23 million in North American events, and his win rate was an outstanding 24%. The skeptics also will cite Practical Joke's post position. He will break from the number 19 stall, which means Rosario must definitely guide him a long way toward the rail. That's a task that would be erroneous if Practical Joke were a speed horse, or Rosario would have to get him into the lead, into leading the pack. but the horse's typical place means that they need not be in such a hurry. Besides going back to 2000, 9 of 17 winners have assigned starting spots of 13 or higher. An outside post is a no deal breaker. Above all, Practical Joke is an accomplished horse in his brief career. He's never been worse than third. With 3 wins, 2 places, and 1 show, he has engaged in top flight races and overcome some slightly troubled trips at times. Because of the number 19 post and concerns about the so-called turf specialist trainer, this $240,000 purse could set sail at odds of higher than this at his current 20 to 1. So no matter the price, it'll be right on Practical Joke as our long shot TV, long shots Kentucky Derby pick. So take that one and run with it, guys. If you follow it, good luck. But that's an awesome position to be in. And I'll run down some of the other odds just so you can hear them. But we'll start back at where I left off. Girvan and Hence 15 to 1. Gormley at 18 to 1. Looking at Lee, Thunder Snow, IRAP, J-Boys Echo, Taprit, all 20 to 1. Practical Joke is now 25 to 1. So it's jumped a little bit, and guys, that's the horse to take on a long shot to win the race if you're a long shots type of person. We are here. So Battle of Midway 30 to 1, Royal Mo and Sonneteer and State of Honor all at 30 to 1, Untraps 40 to 1, Patch 40 to 1, Sonneteer and Fast and Accurate. Sonneteer 50 to 1, Fast and Accurate is 100 to 1. 101 would be a great payout, but that horse is not going to win the race, so no chances there.
We'd also like to wish Tony the Rhino a happy birthday from the Long Shots studio.
Oh, man. Oh, well, at least it was gold. Oh, I feel like a stripper. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. And Jay, I'll take care of you after the show. But yeah, it's good. Okay. Hey, just remember, don't poke the rhino, because the rhino will run you over. Just remember that. So, guys, let me ask you out there while we got you, what's your favorite horse for this race? Type it in there. Let me know. I would like to get some feedback real quick on who you think should win this race. I already know who I'm going with, and I have a solid card. By the way, guys, my complete card is up and ready to go. It's $49 on turnbetting.com. You can find me there. Look under experts. Find Tony the Rhino. $49. If it's not a profitable card, you'll get a week of my free premium sports picks if it doesn't win. Okay, I guarantee that's going to be profitable for you. Done a lot of research on this. I haven't always been a real big horse guy. This year I got into it, but I'll tell you what, doing some research and talking to some of these guys opened my eyes to some of the things. So Lucky Lance likes Taprit. That's a good choice also. Have to take a hard look at it though, and see what you think before you make those decisions, because like they're saying, and you can read about it, there's a good 7 horses out there that could easily win this race. It's going to depend on how the jockey takes the horse down this track based on the conditions, being rain in the forecast and a lot of mud. So it's going to be an interesting race, one you definitely don't want to miss. And we'll see the hats kind of soaking, flopping down on people's heads during the Derby. So, okay, for you regular sports fans out there, we won't neglect you. We will give you some rundown today on a couple of the games that are going on and a couple of that are coming up tonight. But keep on typing in your thoughts on your pick for the Kentucky Derby, though. We want everybody to put a pick in, and we'll see where we stand, see who can nail it down. Okay, Cleveland at Toronto, NBA. No surprise here. Cleveland's up on Toronto 89-80. They just about halfway through the fourth. Actually, a little more than that. It's 8:01 left. And LeBron James has 24 points. DeRozan has 37 points. So it may come down to the wire, but it looks like at this point Cleveland might start running away since they started off the fourth quarter on a 10-3 run. San Antonio and Houston coming up at 9:30. Excuse me. Houston opened up at 3.5 favorite. They're now 5 as a favorite. That's been a tough game, a tough series there, especially with the way they played the other night. It was just, horrible. They got blown out. So I would stay away from that game if I were you. Let's go down to baseball. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. Nelson against Cool. They're in a rain delay. I don't think they're going to get that game in tonight. Then you have Washington at Philadelphia. Strasburg against Pivetta. It's Washington 4-0, bottom of the sixth, and looks like Philly has 2 on right now with 2 outs, first and second, so they may get a chance to get a run out of there and at least get on the board. St. Louis, Atlanta. Lynn against Fulton-Wentz. St. Louis is murdering Atlanta 7-0, top of the fifth, and we kind of saw that one coming. Alrighty, Miami at New York Mets, Kohler and Montero. It's 7-3 Miami right now, bottom of the fifth, and Kohler's pitching. Looks like he just got out of the inning, so going to the top of the fifth. San Francisco, Cincinnati. I have a premium play on this game. I'll just tell you a little bit about it. Oh, it's underway. Kane and Arroyo. And we actually took San Francisco on this and the over. It's right now 3-1 Cincinnati. Let's see. Kane is pitching for San Francisco. Suarez is at bat, and they have the bases loaded with 2 outs. Oh, and they just scored 2 more, so now it's 5-1 Cincinnati, so that may not turn out to be a great pick. But we shall see. We may still hit the over. Okay, Arizona's at Colorado, Greinke and Marquez. It's 2-0 Arizona, bottom of the second. Greinke is pitching right now. That game looks like it's just, it was supposed to be kind of a slugfest. I think the over-under was 11 there, but didn't want to touch that one. Thought about it, but stayed away. We've got Chicago White Sox at Baltimore. Baltimore's leading 2-0 right now. Gonzalez against Miley, top of the seventh. So it looks like that might be a little bit of a pitching matchup. They're cruising along pretty good. So if you took the under in that game, that should cash for you. Toronto at Tampa Bay. You got Liriano against Archer. Everybody's been down on Archer, but Archer's been kind of staying in there and just eking out these games. So right now it looks like he could eke out another one. Everybody was on Toronto, and Tampa Bay's up 3-1 right now, top of the sixth. Boston at Minnesota. Rodriguez and Hughes. Minnesota's up 2-1. We've been pounding Minnesota guys because they keep winning, they keep swinging the bats, and they've been doing really well. But Boston also has some power as well, as long as they can outscore their opponent. Boston at Minnesota. Cleveland at Kansas City. Salazar and Hamill, that's just underway. It's bottom of the third, no score. So looks like a good pitching matchup there. Both right-handers come out cruising. Salazar, good pitcher, has been doing really well for Cleveland. You would think, though, that probably in the later innings, Cleveland's going to get to Hamill and light him up for a few runs. So New York, Chicago, Pineda and Hendricks. I think there was a lot of people on this game. I know I was. And I actually took New York plus money on this game. Just felt that Pineda, the way he's been pitching, especially on the road, has a lot better shot, and the way young Yankees been swinging the bat, I think they'll get to Hendricks, and they have early. So, or had early. So the game was over, and it was 3-2. So we did get the winner on that with plus money on New York. LA Dodgers and San Diego coming up tonight. Maeda against Chasen, and both right-handers. The line is San Diego plus 158 to 163 on some books. Everybody knows or expects that the Dodgers are going to win that game. 170 is, just way too much delay on a game like that. But you might want to look at the over-under in this game. There could be something there. Detroit at Oakland. Fulmer against Triggs. Okay. I do have a play on this game. Fulmer and Triggs both been pitching very well. Fulmer just got some unlucky breaks, but he's still pitching very well. Rookie of the year last year, and he still has that strength and throwing the ball very well. He just got hit by some good batters a few games ago, and he'll figure it out and get back into that groove. But Detroit and Oakland will be a good game. Oakland's actually favored 123 on that game. Then you got Houston at LA. Doug Kuchel against Chavez, and LA Angels are getting plus money at anywhere from 120 to 123. Lefty against a righty. Angels at home. Have they been swinging the bats very well? Not really. More likely, Houston's going to win that game. It's probably going to be a 4-3 game, I would think, somewhere around there. But you can take a look at that game tonight as well. And the last game of the night, Texas at Seattle. We got Darvish going up against Gallardo. This ought to be a good pitching match. Darvish is, he's still got that form. He's still throwing hard. Gallardo is, Gallardo. He just does what he does. But Seattle's getting plus money at home, so I think the Texas bats are a little bit better than the Seattle's bats, but that line is changing quite a bit, so it looks like there's some money coming in on Texas here. The line took a little bit of a jump there, so that's just the way it's looking and reading to me. So enjoy those games tonight. And guys, did we comment on any of the Derby picks? Somebody's saying, let's go Giants, home of the Reds fan. Hey, I'm a Reds fan too. That's actually my National League team. I grew up with the 75-76 Big Red Machine. Used to go down to the games with my dad. My dad took me when I was young, and that was the time. That was what got me into baseball, and I played as long as I could. But take some special skill, guys. Take some special skill. So, all right, any questions out there about the Derby? Throw me a couple of questions if you got them right now. And remember what I said about the the long shot. I'm telling you, solid. If you don't throw a little tiny bit of money on there on Practical Joke, I think you'd be missing out. But my favorite to win, guys, always dreaming, 5-1. So if there are no questions, I gotta go get some gold. Oh, somebody's got a question. How did those sprinkles feel? I'll tell you what, my technical producer loves to have fun with it. He usually messes with me every show. I just usually try to ignore it, look away, things like that. So that's why I stutter all the time. But you know, this went a little over the top, but it's all in good fun. We like to have fun around here. It's makes it a lot more fun too when you guys interact with us and give us questions and talk, and you know, just tell us what you think. Who's your teams? Who's your players? Who's your horses? Guys, we want to have many picks, people coming up and talking about this in a forum like our show, so that we can get many people on. Eventually, what we'd like to do is get a phone system hooked up so that you guys can actually call into the show and can be heard and give your comments and opinions on the games and whatnot. Gervin and Mike Smith is a good horse. McCracken should be in most combinations. I agree with that. Okay, only 7 horses. Wow. Well, 7 horses, based on the conditions, Chris, is what they're saying, because you know, the track's going to be muddy, and you know, horses are either mudders or they're turf horses. You know, they run in different weather best. It's just the way they are. So that's why we're saying those particular 7 horses have the edge over the rest of the field. So that's what we're talking about. And all right, guys. Well, if there's no more questions, then we're going to wrap it up for the night. And see you guys next week. Next week, we are probably going to have a poker show and a sports show. So we're going to probably do the sports show regular time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tell everybody. Please subscribe to our channel. The more subscribers we have, the more reach we can get. So we really appreciate you, everybody's hitting the subscribe button before you go. And thank you very much for that. But yeah, we're going to have the sports show at 9, and then the poker show will be at 10. Because you know how those poker players are, they tend to stay up late because they're up grinding. So they're in a routine, but that's what we're going to do. And then hopefully every week from there on out, we will have a poker show and a sports show every Friday night. Kind of combines them back to back, makes it, you know, a little easier on all of us especially, but provides a lot more content for you guys to come on, watch, and get involved. And we're actually going to talk some poker strategy. We have a poker strategist that's going to be coming in, talking about how he plays the game, how to play the game, suggestions, and we're going to want a lot of questions. If you're a poker player, no matter what level, you're going to want to be on that show so that you can put your questions out there and pick his brain. All right, I'm not going to tell you who that is right now, but it's going to be great, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, all right, guys, this is TheRhino, and this is LongShotsTV. Remember to take a shot with long shots, because we are the game. Even get